Hey there, this is Dr. Mort Orman, and I want to finish up our series today about summer stress. And I want to highlight a couple other common features of summer stress, and also sort of summarize what this whole series, what we've been talking about this week, and how summer stress is not really about the summer when you get down to it. So the things I want to focus on today, we focused on other aspects earlier in the week, such as kids being off of school and being more present at home. We talked about vacations and how they can sometimes produce stress, and also produce stress in the workplace when other people go on vacation and now you have more work to do. Three other things I want to mention that frequently happen during the summertime: the heat, insects, and injuries. So with regard to the heat, there are lots of consequences of the higher temperatures during the summertime. One thing is your cooling costs, your air conditioning costs can soar and produce some financial stress for people. Storms are more frequent and can cause damaging problems and also interfere with outdoor activities. There's the whole aspect, if you have a swimming pool, you have all the maintenance and the work you have to do during the summertime that you don't have to do during the rest of the year. But also with regard to swimming, going to the beach, having a swimming pool, that brings in all the issues around weight and how you feel about being in a bathing suit, your appearance, and all that kind of stuff, not to mention all the good foods that are available during the summertime, and fruits are more plentiful, and things that are high in calories. I know one of my favorites is snowballs or snow cones, which tend to have a good bit of calories, so we have to be very careful about that. So that's from the heat, and there are probably many others from the heat standpoint. Obviously, insects can be a big source of stress for many people, particularly if you have allergies like to bees or something like that. They're more plentiful and prevalent. Flies, the really nuisance ants that tend to come around and sometimes get into your house. Being outdoors more, and exposure to ticks, mosquitoes, particularly, mosquitoes these days are an increasing source of stress for many people. So obviously there's many more insects around, and injuries. So you're outdoors more, you're more active, you're participating in things that you may not participate in during the winter: sports, camping, hiking, playing with kids, just running around, and there's a more tendency, to get injured, and injuries in themselves can be stressful. So these are just some of the additional things that can happen during the summertime. And I want to go back and focus on some of the threads that we talked about earlier, because really, when you get down to it, summer stress is not so much about the summertime as it is about how you adapt to change. And there's basically, and this applies all year long, and there's basically two forces in conflict with each other, and two tensions that come into play with many types of stress we experience in our lives. And that is the balance between creative and gracious acceptance of the flow of life and the changes that go along with the flow of life, and then sort of active, sometimes automatic resistance, which often brings with it a lot of negative emotions, a lot of unhappiness about the way things are and the way things have changed and the flow of life, the way it's going. And there's always that sort of tension in our lives between actively and creatively accepting change and accepting what's going on in the moment versus resisting it, disliking it, getting upset about it, fighting it. And this interplay of those two forces does not just happen during the summertime. It happens all year long. It happens throughout your entire life. And it's that tension there, and how you resolve that tension, and the skills you bring to your ability to accept, to be creative, to turn something that could be a negative into a positive. Those are essential skills that help you deal with stress. People who know how to master stress are very, very good at accepting what's so, at accepting the changes and the ebbs and flows of life and the unexpected things that happen in life, and they deal with it graciously, they deal with it optimistically, positively, creatively. They don't sit around bemoaning the fact that things are changing or getting upset with the fact that things are changing. Or if they do, they catch themselves very early on and say, wait a second, I don't want to waste any time on that. I want to see how I can take this change and turn it into something of value to me or positive to me, or do something with it to creatively utilize it to my benefit. So we've really been talking about that during these 5 videos this week, and I've been highlighting certain specifics that happened with the summer, but the basic principles of how to deal with those issues and those changes run throughout everything. So that's why I wanted to do this series for you this week. Hope you got something out of it, and I'll talk to you again next time.